Welcome back as we're getting ready for the draft for Game 2 between the Glacial Mingos and Maria's Dungeon. As the Glacial Mingos pulled out a pretty tight one in the first game. There was a bit of a weird team composition with that Disco Scion in the top lane. We found out an interesting nugget of knowledge that remember how I said like who was the team captain that signed off on that? Yeah, TJ Lanier is actually the team captain of the Glacial Mingos. So he just decides to call his own number and says, going into the draft, guys, we're picking Disco Scion. Play around me.
Yeah, and of note, TJ Lanier is not going to get that again because it is banned. Maria says, nope, not on my watch. So Captain v. Captain violence here as TJ Lanier is fuming. Or so we think. Yeah, I don't really know if he's actually fuming.
Same bans by the Glacial Mingos as of, from the last game. Meanwhile, on the other side, it is switched up a little bit. They leave the Trundle open, they being Maria's Dungeon, and opt to take out the Scion at this point. So I'm interested to see if they feel that that Trundle is first pickable here for the Glacial Mingos.
Yeah, interesting to see if that is an option, but looks like they're going to take the Nami instead this time. And these teams they did switch sides, by the way, so this draft is interesting.
Yeah, just same champions being picked here, but just for different teams. So the Nami for Maria's Dungeon. Meanwhile, Glacial Mingos, they're going to pick up that Talon and this Aurelia. Very scary champion as an 80 carry main. The bane of my existence. I do not like seeing that champion. I do not like it, Sam I am.
As a support main, I don't like to see Talon, so we have very painful champions coming through. But Maria's Dungeon basically right now saying, we are going to go all out for this Enchantress kind of Nirvana, picking up both the Nami and the Seraphine here. And, Seraphine is an option to play in that bot lane as well as an APC, so to speak, or you can put it into that mid lane. So interesting to see Wolverine's actually the one who's coaching Maria's Dungeon this time around, picking all Enchantresses. But on the flip side, you already pick a 2 AD, which is really interesting because you need to find some AP somewhere. But Boxian showed that Rise was no slouch.
Jack's being picked up once again for Maria's Dungeon. This is the plan that they have here. The plan is to put Fishing Frenzy on the Jax and just buff them up with a Nami and Seraphine. I'm not too angry at that. Meanwhile, on the other side, Glacial Mingos, they're hovering this Vayne. This Vayne could very well not go where you expect it to go, and they will lock it in.
Yeah, and the fun fact about Vayne, especially into Maria's Dungeon, is last week, I believe, they played against Glacial Globals, or Glacial Academy, one of them, where they were up against the Vayne, who was 9-1 at 12 minutes, and they won the game. So...
What?
Yes, exactly. That might have been that game or the other one, but there was definitely a game where there was a Vayne that was 9-1 in laning phase. So interesting to see that the Glacial teams all want to draft very similarly, but Vayne into what could be a Seraphine Nami is relatively safe because they can't really bully you. The point of Seraphine Nami is to get out of lane, whereas Vayne, if she's able to take advantage of a lane and bully out the likes of a Nami or a Seraphine because she has kind of a very aggressive support to back it up, it could mean doom for the side of Maria's Dungeon. But this isn't the first time we've seen Maria's Dungeon down and out, so to speak. They definitely know how to come from behind, and they're one of our sort of Cinderella team stories.
Glacial Mingos, they're two bans. They opted for Katarina and Lucian, so obviously do not want to see Katarina at all this series. And Lucian, a fairly good ban against the Nami Seraphine Menace. Meanwhile, for Maria's Dungeon, they've gotten rid of that Rise. Very wise move there. And they have also eliminated that Jin Zhao that they had banned out earlier. And yep, this is exactly what I expected to happen. I totally expected that to happen. So apparently, TJ last week played Vayne top and is probably going to do it again. He's going to go from Disco Scion to Vayne top. This dude is the top laner that you do not want to see in solo queue.
This is the top laner you don't want to see on your team in solo queue. But regardless, TJ Lanier playing the Vayne into Jax is very interesting because the Condemn completely shuts down what Jax wants to do. It doesn't count as an on-hit effect, so it doesn't get blocked by Counter-Strike. So anytime he starts twirling his fidget spinner around, you can just use that Condemn and knock him away. But Maria's Dungeon is going to call out the bluff and say, we will pick Yone into your Aurelia, which is, because of right now, Glacial Mingos have no AP. So Jax is going to be incredibly high value here for everyone else because of the fact that there's no AP. And now Expo is going to play probably the highest damage or highest magic damage jungler you can play in the Karthus, as Zyra is the last pick to be locked in. And this is a very interesting draft once again.
What season is this? Ashe Zyra? No way.
Season 6. There's no misfortune support though, but
seems rough. Seems rough. But the Maria's Dungeon draft, I foresee just one issue is the fact that they don't really have any ranged damage dealers that can auto attack turrets efficiently, right? So their siege just kind of leaves a little bit to be desired. Sure, as you get more magic damage, you're going to deal more damage to structures. Karthus has the worst auto attack animation and speed in the game. So it does mean that your siege is a little bit slower.
Yeah, and it's not that it's the slowest attack speed, it's that he has, I believe, the lowest missile speed. So there's champions like Rel who have quote-unquote worse attack speed, or Senna even, who has really bad base attack speed, but Karthus auto attacks take like a year to go through. They're like Soraka auto attacks, and even Soraka, at least they like look like something. Karthus is just a little blob flying through the air. So, regardless,
Swirly spirit.
When you're playing Karthus, you're not really looking to auto attack, and especially when you look at the enemy team where they've effectively picked 5 in-your-face champions. Karthus really likes this because they are all going to fight into Karthus. If Karthus dies, you get 7 seconds of free damage. This is something that is supremely understated when Karthus is picked in competitive. It's not the fact that you need a quote-unquote die to take advantage of your passive. It's the fact that your passive really prevents them from wanting to take full-on team fights and killing you first. They want to silence you. They want to have you as the last person to kill, but in the same vein, you have to deal with all the damage coming out from the Karthus, and if he dies, it makes it even worse because you can't just stop his damage.
Yeah, there's one thing that the Glacial Mingos team does have over Maria's Dungeon, and that is the CC. Now, obviously, Nami and Seraphine, they've got a fair amount of CC on both of them. Obviously, their ultimate's incredibly impactful. Seraphine's beat drop, pretty good, if it hits a slow target already, or, hits with both of them. But Ashe Zyra is able to do a very excellent job of keeping everybody away from the team. So that Karthus, if he has to walk up, he's going to have to come in from an angle, because if he has to walk up, that Ashe Zyra is going to make sure that he is unable to get even close to the team. That Defile's not going to touch anybody in that case.
Yeah, just really got to be careful about how, for Expo specifically, just needs to be careful pre-6, because this talent is going to want to perma invade you, look for those 1v1s, and leave you feeling absolutely used and abused as Karthus. You can lay waste to whatever you want, but the only thing that talent's going to do to you pre-6 is lay waste to the Karthus. So we'll have to keep our eye on how Expo wants to farm this out. We'll see if they opt for the exhaust as well, because that is something that Karthuses will take. Sometimes you see the teleport as well, but generally Karthus doesn't care about flash, because what are you going to flash away from? In reality, you kind of want to die most of the time. So we'll have to keep our eye on what Expo does, but looking at the solo lanes as well, Jax and Yone is once again a lot of damage from both of these solo lanes. And when you look at the likes of a Vayne and Aurelia, it's just, this game is going to be as explosive as last one. Now there's no tanks. Sion was like a pseudo tank, you could say, but no one's tanky this game. Just everyone's going to die, and we're going to get 40 kills at 15 minutes, and we're all going to lose our voices.
And Expo, to his credit, it was an excellent pick because he does a lot of damage to these champions. His Requiem is going to tear everybody apart, save for maybe Aurelia, because she can get a little bit tanky later on. But one thing I want to do, I want to start preparing a potential eulogy for Fishing Frenzy. This poor guy goes into game 1, runs down this Sion. He absolutely walks this young man. The Sion eventually gets the Hull Breaker, and now the mid laner makes it too difficult for Jax to actually have any impact, and they lose the game. And now Jax has to go up against the Vayne. Can you imagine a more tilting back-to-back?
Fishing Frenzy's going fishing after this game. He's out. He's gonna go take a vacation and say, I do not want to play League of Legends ever again. Because
he's gonna go play New World.
Yeah, he's gonna go play New World, basically. That's what everyone's been doing. But Fishing Frenzy is not happy with this one because of the 2 lane matchups have just been absolutely atrocious. Jax can punish a Vayne though, and it's really based on how well he plays around the Condemn. If he's walking up and is in range for the Counter-Strike before the Condemn comes down, he can use his Leap Strike after and get on top of Vayne. But considering TJ Lanier opted into this, I feel like this vein is going to be very difficult to deal with for Fishing Frenzy, and I'm pretty sure Adam Suki is going to be sitting top lane the entire game as well.
It's TJ looking to show he can be your angel or your devil. You know, he can int it down and run it down on Disco Scion, and he can absolutely run the game on Vayne in the top lane. But we will have to see if he does run the game or if he runs it down, as we are going to take a very short break as we're getting through the spectator delay. So come back very soon for game 2 between Maria's Dungeon and the Glacial Mingos. Should be a very fun-filled game full of lots of damage, lots of kills. Hey everybody, welcome back. We are here for game 2 between the Glacial Mingos and Maria's Dungeon. Maria's Dungeon now on the blue side, Fishing Frenzy in the top lane, Expo in the jungle, Nukes in the mid lane, Soul Lady at, I guess we'll call it AD carry. We'll call it bot lane carry, how about that? Hacksaw at support, and Hacksaw almost getting rooted up there, but it was a little too far away. They got the ward!
It's over! Mid lane's over, actually.
It's
like,
fed.
actually
He's
over,
absolutely fed. FF. Right now. Just do it.
Yes. All jokes aside, they are able to get a little bit of a strong invade. I want to point out some summoner spells. Adam Suki has Ignite once again. TJ Lanier took Exhaust up in the top lane, and so did Expo in the jungle. We've got Cleanse on Chandler and Teleport on Soul Lady, Heal on Hacksaw. No one has the right summoner spells except for Boxian and Nukes. And Fishing Frenzy, actually.
Yeah, that's pretty fair. Wait. What do you mean? Doesn't it? Didn't you just say that the Karthus could run Exhaust?
Yes, I said. Conventional summoners. Yes, you can go flash. Everyone should go flash, but regardless, yes, it is better for the Karthus to go Exhaust here. Going to start on that blue buff as well. Generally good to prevent that invade, but the good thing about the information that has been received by the side of Maria's Dungeon here is that Expo and Adam Suki are going to be on opposite sides of the map, which is exactly what you want with the Karthus. You want to stay as far away from this Talon as possible. Yeah,
you just kind of want to, have two ships passing in the night kind of deal, when you're playing a Karthus. You know, the two ship strategy, very popular in games like Magic the Gathering, where you're just focusing on doing your own strategy. That's really what just Expo wants to do. He just wants to power farm up until level 6 and then just drop some fat ultimates.
Yeah, it's a strategy in StarCraft as well. You just kind of sit there, your enemy's sending all these scouts over, and you're like, I don't care, and then all of a sudden you go Zerg Rush and you kill them all. So,
but yeah, you send these scouts over. That way you can see how you're gonna lose.
yeah, we give you false hope. You don't see what we're doing. You get to just see, oh, you're only building enough pylons for 12 warriors. Oh no, that's not enough. And then all of a sudden you just
Let's construct additional pylons.
You must construct additional pylons. But TJ Linear burned his flash very
He's down a
again.
flash again. Hey, listen, he saved it for like another minute this time. This like a minute and 34 seconds.
This time, no taunting on the Vayne, taking this pick very seriously, as Vayne's face would imply. But in this bot lane, this is exactly what we expected. The Seraphine gonna have a little bit of trouble fighting, but topside.
Oh, Fishing Frenzy. He's got the Conqueror Brock. Chase him down, my friend. Oh, he can't. TJ Linear, he's having a bit of a rough time now, and it's been the story of the day for him. Lose lane, win game, maybe?
That's what happened last game, at least. The laning phase did not go Sion's way, but in some ways he didn't really care, just because he could keep taking advantage of Hullbreaker in general and Sion's passive. But interesting to see Nukes and Boxian sort of switch it up. They both played those AP laners last game, this time playing the AD. And one thing to point out is Jax is a champion that you have to sort of pick magic damage into. Once again, throwback to World's first game where they picked two AD solo laners into a Jax. He built Rando and Zoman, and they didn't do any damage to him, so got to keep that in mind. But mid lane.
Almost away. That one lands. The Ignite going to be burnt will force the flash out of Nukes, but nothing more than that. That was Adam Suki's Ignite, as he has gone Smite and Ignite this game, as opposed to Expo's last game where he went Smite and Flash. It just seems like a difference in playstyles here.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a different... the different vibes overall from both of these teams. You know, last game it was very clear win conditions after that Rise got fed that you just go for that 1-3-1. This game it's not as clear because TJ Linear will not have the teleport ever, because that's how it works, and it's really going to be focused more on the 4-1. You've got to send Boxian down to a solo lane, but on the flip side you have two members who can deal with it, and in some ways the Jax into the Aurelia will always go in favor of Jax so long as he's not very far behind. So once we get to that mid game, that is something that we'll have to take a look at, because Nukes as well can sit in that side lane and feel pretty useful, especially against the Vayne. So very curious to see how this game unfolds. But thus far, no action through 5 minutes, which is, I think, the most surprising thing of all.
And if you're Expo right now, you're so happy about that. You just don't want to really have to do anything. Flawless away was dodged there, but now Adam Suki has come over. Knockup landed, but Nukes has nowhere to go. He's got no flash blood going over to Boxian, and just as you said, there was no action. There's all the action. These guys want all the smoke, and now Fishing Frenzy getting chased down by TJ Linear. The exhaust has gone out, trying to be chased down here by Expo, and he will leap strike forward. That'll be Fishing Frenzy picking that one up, and he's got a huge wave as well. But once again, a good response by the Glacial Mingos getting the dragon when the gank goes top lane.
Yeah, and of note, looking at that mid lane, it is once again Boxian just flexing his muscles there. Up almost 30 CS, has the Vamp Scepter as well as that pickaxe compared to just the dagger that's matched by the Yone. So overall, Boxian going to be feeling really good. Going to hit that level 6 mark first, and it's just going to be solo kill central if Nukes isn't able to stave off the initial level 6 engage.
CS discrepancy in this mid lane, huge right now. Boxian up 30 CS, is going to hit level 6 first. This is looking kind of rough for Nukes. It's looking a little bit worse than it was last time, Syndra Rise.
Yeah, and this is exactly what we were saying.
Geez. Adam Suki is just everywhere. Whoa, what a play by Nukes. Good stuff there. Can he turn? There's no way he can turn this right. Oh my god, no way. No way. Nukes, do it. Oh my god, he's insane.
It was as if we talked about it right before. At level 6, you've got to be careful if you are this Yone into the Aurelia, because she will just ult you and go right in. But they botched the dive, and Nukes is able to get away with his life and pick up a double kill. That is massive for this Yone, because he'll be able to push this wave in without worrying about the teleport. Going to be able to get a back off and most likely finish a Vamp Scepter and Noon Quiver, and all of a sudden you've got yourself looking at an item disadvantage for the Aurelia.
This man shut me up real quick. He was like, nah, dude, watch this. Like,
yeah. He messed us all up, man. Like, Nuke
That was
said,
so sick.
you know what he did? He nuked our analysis. That's what he did. Just straight
Yeah,
up.
he nuked that stuff from orbit, my guy. Like, not even like you ever play Gears of War? He hammered of Dawned stuff right there.
Oh,
That was something. And Expo back up in the top lane didn't quite land the Karthus wall there, that wall of pain. So TJ Lanier not in too much pain right now. Just hit level 6 as well. And you know, once Vayne's hit level 6, feels like they just can't control their impulses. It's kind of like Lee syndrome. You just kind of want to just hit the R button and tumble for it. It's the best feeling in the game.
yeah, and quite literally, you get your aggression turned up to 11 because that is technically your final hour before midnight. So,
I like that.
but
Dude,
regardless,
smart. Hire this man.
speaking of level 6s, we have it come through for this Karthus as well, which means he can gank from his base, which is the best part about Karthus. You press R and you get 1,000 damage to your champ damage. So we'll have to keep an eye on where this Karthus wants to strike, but fighting in the mid lane once again.
Effortless ganks indeed as Nukes. He's got to get the fate sealed and get the heck out of dodge. It seems like it seems like he's playing it so well, dodging the flawless duet, dodging the W, and then you get into an auto attack fight and he just gets his teeth kicked in.
Yeah, and this is the Aurelia that just recently got nerfed, where her Ionian Fervor doesn't give her as much free attack speed, but still just a very strong champion in a minion wave, which is, I think, the biggest difference, is that both Jax and Aurelia are good into minion waves, and they're facing the opposite of them, where Yone doesn't really like being in a minion wave apart from being able to stack up that Q, but in general, if you're going in, you want to have that already stacked up. And TJ Lanier, of course, wants to just be able to free fire on someone as opposed to deal with countering auto attacks. But top side, here comes Adam Suki.
Yep, he is here. The ward was there, though, so I'm not sure if Fishing Frenzy was really paying attention. The Condemn will knock him right into the wall, and that will be the Silver Bolt proc getting the kill. TJ Lanier. Yeah, Adam Suki was standing on a ward that whole time. I just think Fishing Frenzy just looked him off.
I think the main thing was that Fishing Frenzy didn't have a ward of his own, so it was very difficult to get out of there with the Leap Strike. Had to flash after getting condemned, and that's just really unfortunate for the Jax. But mid lane fighting again.
Yep, I mean, again, it just seems like he's doing a really good job against Boxing, and Boxing has gone back in. Expo, the wall of paint didn't land, but that Ignite, it will not matter. Expo picking up the kill, and now the ultimate down onto that Nami, down she goes. Soul Lady tried to save her, but not so there. Adam Suki and Expo fighting. Is Shelly to get in there? Nope. But Expo, the 1v1 kill on Adam Suki. He still has that Requiem, too.
That's why you take Exhaust, because you just shut down any sort of assassin junglers, but Maria.
Oh, count me out of that one, Maria, as there's going to be a kill for Chandler Clark, their second of the game, and I wasn't really expecting too much to be done from this Ashe Zyra lane, going up against the double enchanters that were just gonna kind of sit back and chill, but 2 kills on the Chandler Clark. You know, strong Ashe is strong, right?
Yeah, and the biggest thing to take note of was they did use that Ashe Zyra combo exactly to plan. They both at level 6. He used that arrow onto Hacksaw, who I believe just got the flashback up. You used the Strangled Thorns as well, and you get a kill on someone. Soul Lady was forced to use the ultimate there, so didn't have it for the re-engage, where they're just able to find a route and be able to find that kill once again. So despite Ashe Zyra not having been really face of the meta for the last 5 years, it still works. It still works. They didn't rework the champions. So
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot that works here, and what doesn't work here is Nukes is engaged there onto Boxy and losing half of your HP for that one. Another thing that's working, though, how about Expo 5 Dark Harvest stack, or not Dark Harvest stacks, Dark Seal stacks.
Yeah, and has the Dark Harvest as well. Hasn't used that ultimate yet, so we'll have to keep an eye on that, but might have an opportunity to pick up Boxing here.
Couldn't dodge that in time. Fade sealed it. Whiffs! It whiffs. Nothing personnel kid, but you couldn't even land it. Flash burned there. Nuke's just barely going to live. Fighting going on everywhere. Is Fishing Frenzy now on to TJ Lanier. Do something! Flash forward for TJ. TJ is going to take one turn shot. He's going to take a second. Do it. Hit the R button. Go!
There was so many low health bars, and maybe you press R and you're able to just get that last little bit of damage, but Expo feeling a little trigger shy. And everyone ends up living. I mean, the biggest counter to Karthus in general is getting healing, because when he's ulting you from across the map and you're alone, you just gotta heal on something, but engage bot side.
Uh-oh, Hacksaw is going to have to burn the flash there, so I'd be very careful for the next fight. Stranglethorns burnt by Gabe. The ult from Chandler is still on cooldown. So should be safe for right now, even if there's no flash on the Nami.
Yeah, gonna be difficult
Whoa,
for
wait. What's Vayne building up there?
Vayne. What? I'm angry. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
We found Adam Suki. Adam Suki manages to leap over a wall that looks like it's not even there. Boxy and flashing forward over to Nukes. Couldn't land the flawless away. But now, there's so much damage going out there. It is going to be a 2-for-1. Do it! Hit the R button! No, he couldn't hit the R button. He waited too long. Adam Suki will get away with his life. A 2-for-1 in favor of the Glacial Mingos.
I'm still angry that TJ Lanier is building Frostfire on Vayne. I am angry. I am hurt. I am disgusted.
You're foaming at the mouth. Frostfire got
what?
Yo, that's kind of weird though. It's kind of weird, champ.
I'm angry. Okay, I don't. Me angry, no talk to me. Okay, this is a tank Vayne, and I'm just hurt. I
have many questions. I have many questions. Well, you know what, Vayne? Look at Vayne right now getting that value out of that Bambi Cinder and doing the burn damage to Fishing Frenzy. But Fishing Frenzy does a fair amount of damage back to TJ. Is he going to be able to close out on the kill? The Condemn is burnt. And now TJ on the offensive. This guy really knows how to play Vayne. It might be tanking. Oh, there's the R button. Boom! Baby, Expo picking up a shutdown. That's what you get for going all armor full tank Vayne.
Yes, finally presses that R button. Does get the shutdown, but at the end of it, you can see it's just Mingos taking advantage of this early game. And last game, what we saw was Maria's Dungeon able to keep it relatively close, but here, this is a 5,000 gold lead for the side of Mingos, and they get this Rift Herald to get the charge right before plates expire, but Adam Suki,
Oh, yeah, the exhaust was burnt there. He saw an opportunity to kill Expo. As it turns out, Expo just decided, I'll take a couple of turret shots just to bait the Talon in. Exhaust burnt Fishing Frenzy, picking up that kill. And no, top turret going down. Lots of gold in the pockets of Fishing Frenzy and Expo now. They're going to go back and have a pretty healthy buy.
Yeah, you can see it's the Divine Sunder complete onto this Jax, which in some ways is going to get more value now that you have a tank Vayne. While I don't necessarily agree with the build, it is interesting considering there is a lot of damage on the flip side. And one thing to note is that Vayne is going to get a lot of that damage sort of supplemented by the likes of an Infernal Soul, which is coming through. And once again, Mingos have had really good control over these dragons. They've picked up the first two, so you can look at potentially an Infernal Soul for themselves around the 23-minute mark if everything goes according to plan.
You know, and it's pretty amazing. It kind of feels like their strategy is, all right, we're going to give our captain a really weird / sexy pick. Like, you know, that Disco Scion top lane, this Vayne in the top lane. And when they send people top lane to deal with this guy, we're just going to take all the dragons. Yep. And they're going to take Expo's life here. Ultimate drop there. It's a great layering of ultimate there. Adam Suki goes down along with Boxian, but on the other end, Gabe and Chandler are able to pick up one kill, but Nukes teleports behind you, picking up that kill. Can he finish off Chandler Clark? The Ignite ticking? I don't think so. Meanwhile,
he cleansed it off.
The exhaust onto Fishing Frenzy. TJ doing what he can to try to take him down. Pretty nice move there by Fishing Frenzy to leap strike in the direction where he was being condemned to get out of there.
Yeah, a lot to break down there, though, as
so much.
On the
I don't envy you.
Karthus. Oh, we'll get back to this analysis in a bit.
Counter-strike, it lands. He does so much damage to TJ. I don't think TJ's got a shot. Flash burnt so close. Fishing Frenzy comes out on top. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Boxian doing big damage to Nukes. Flash not up. Can he get closer? He's got minions nearby, but it won't matter. Soul Lady shows up along with Expo to dissuade any further engagement.
Yeah, so just starting off with that bot lane play, Karthus caught napping. I believe there was a ward placed down by the side of Mingos to spot that out. But that layering of the crowd control is why you want to pick these double enchantresses. They always have very good ultimates. That is their main focal point. You get the charm onto both of them, the tidal wave to follow up, and while Gabe and Chandler are able to pick up a kill onto the Seraphine, I believe, or onto one of them. Can't even remember at this point. It was so long ago. They're able to get both the Aurelia and the Talon, and then Yone's able to come through, pick up the kill into Gabe Chotsky, and Chandler just barely stays alive. Had to burn the cleanse to stay, keep that Ignite from taking him down. And then up on the top side, we saw Vayne just a little bit too greedy. It looked really good, but Jax just with a little bit too much damage and too much utility out of Counter-Strike.
TJ looking to join the fight here, coming through from the side, but they've all engaged onto him. The flash of burnt, the Nami tidal wave hits TJ. There's the ultimates, a lot of ultimates coming out. The Shadow Assault going down as well. Expo goes down. Chandler Clark picked that kill up. Here comes the Karthus ultimate. Is it going to do enough? I don't really think so. TJ kills Fishing Frenzy. Boxian on top of Soul Lady. Can Hacksaw help him out? Absolutely not. There's another kill for Boxian. It's a 3-for-1. It could be more. The flash onto Hacksaw. There's the slow. Dodging the bubble, but TJ getting that extra movement speed from moving closer to an enemy. They just have to get the tumble up and dodge the bubble. Adam Suki ready to hop over the wall. Does there. The bubble was dodged anyway. There was nowhere that Hacksaw could go. Boxian is just going to pick that one up for themselves, put it in their back pocket, and say, hey, listen, it was free real estate. What can I say? As the dragon, the third dragon of the game, will go over to the Glacial Mingos.
And once again, it's even in kills, but no, the action's not stopping.
All right, here's the root. On to Gabe's Fishing Frenzy. Counter-Strike is there. They will find the kill, but the rest of the team did not back. TJ, Boxian, blow up Fishing Frenzy, and they're going to blow up the dragon next.
Yeah, they're going to be able to...
what a hawk shot, by the way. TJ was going to walk right into that.
Yeah,
He's still going to walk right into that.
My goodness.
What are you doing, man?
What is going on in this game regardless? 1-for-1 at the end of that play with the teleport in from Fishing Frenzy, but you know, this is the third dragon going into Mingo's pocket, and once again, they're even in kills, but it's just the macro play that is so strong coming up from Mingos. They didn't even get first turret this game, but they have gold on the members where it counts. Aurelia is up so much CS, and that's really where the gold lead is coming from. It's almost 2,000 in that mid lane alone, and the rest of that gold actually coming from the bot lane, where Chandler Clark and Gabe Kochski have just been able to participate in so much more around this map, giving them that advantage there. So really interesting to see how this game has been playing out, because from the draft, you know, we looked at the side of Mingos and we said, they've got a really odd comp. They've got a lot of damage, but this Jax can run them over. But thus far, the Vayne has done a great job of playing into the Jax, and Fishing Frenzy's 2 levels down on boxing. You cannot fight that in a 1v1.
Absolutely not. Heck, I don't even know if you can fight it in a 1v1 if you are on even strength because of how strong boxing is. There's the Enchanted Crystal Arrow. Stunned forever as Expo. Down you go. Nami Tidal Wave coming out. Not doing a whole lot there. And, you know, picking the jungler, you get big map control out of that, and looks like they're going to start up the Rift Herald.
Yeah, starting up this Rift Herald, but it only got about 30 seconds left on it before she heads back down to the Void. Oh.
Yep, Gabe's got nowhere to go. They're going to head to the Void as well. Adam Suki hopping over the wall. They want more. Nuke's going in for the knockup. Here comes the ultimates down everywhere. It's a 2-man taunt from that Seraphine. On the back end is Fishing Frenzy, but Boxian just tears through him like tissue paper. A double kill for both of these big carries. Fishing Frenzy once more. There's the Requiem on the Wii spawn. Healing so much as Boxian. Are they able to heal more? Not quite. Big shutdown for the Jax as TJ is going to work on the bottom inner turret. Remember, you kill these solo, you get 600 gold.
This is insane gameplay coming up from both these teams, and TJ's solo's no number.
Expo, exhausted. The damage, it's not enough, but TJ's attacking minions. What are you doing, bro? He attacked a couple of minions there. Expo picking up that kill, and now Fishing Frenzy getting a solo turret in the mid lane for himself as well. The gold swinging all around, and yet it still manages to be about a 3,000 gold lead for the side of the Glacial Mingos.
And it's actually closing significantly, because at the end of all that, kill advantage does go over to Maria's dungeon, but the fighting on
what are you doing? Fishing Frenzy, he's on top of Gabe. He can't get the last auto attack off. Cleanse burnt by Chandler there, and just like that, you know, Fishing Frenzy, he giveth and he taketh away.
Oh my goodness, this once again, so much stuff to break down, because there's all this action jam-packed into 1 minute. Boxian with an insane play on the back end. They got the wombo combo off between the Seraphine ultimate, the Nami ultimate, and the Yone ultimate. Everything just falling into place, taking down Chandler and Gabe right off the bat. But Boxian on that backline, able to just dash around so much, and went for the Immortal Shield bow this game as opposed to going for something like the Gore Drinker, the Divine Sunderer. So much healing coming through from Boxian. Eventually goes down to Fishing Frenzy as well as Expo. But then on the bot side, TJ Lanier, this is why you want to build Kraken Slayer on Vayne, so that you can chunk out people who are just a little bit beefier, because that Frostfire Gauntlet did absolutely nothing in terms of killing the Karthus of Expo. So just overall, it's been very interesting to see how this plays out. And it looks like they're just going to start grouping around this Baron and looking for a fight every single time they can.
Oh, blast plant over the wall. TJ lands in a very nice condemn, but he's in so much trouble. He gets caught by the Jax and by the Nami. So low. One last leap strike will take him out there. And that is not the spot you want to get caught out at when Baron is up.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it's going to be another 30 seconds until that Vayne is back, but
everybody's getting called out. It's a great ultimate from the Ashes. Adam Suki had gone over the wall. Chandler Clark picking up that kill. The Defile is out. The Shadow Assault is there. Adam Suki just standing in the Defile. Gets to get hit with the Requiem, is so low, and Expo is actually going to pick it up, not Nukes. So just like that, it's a 1-for-1 in the mid lane, a 2-for-1 overall in favor of Maria's Dungeon.
Oh my goodness, Fishing Frenzy trying to clear up the ward, getting just chunked out.
They're trying to clear out wards when they clearly do not have the backup ready for them. And now Boxy, and every time they get so close, it's so scary. Big combo there out of Nukes, but they've changed focus on the Chandler Clark. The Ignite will be just enough to take out that Ashe, as Gabe is going to have to back with very little HP. This Dragon going to be up in 11 seconds. That was a huge play from Nukes. And because the back getting forced out from the Zyra, they have control of this Dragon. See if they can hold it.
Yeah, we'll have to see if they can actually get this Dragon, because it prevents the Soul from going down. Infernal Soul, when you have an Aurelia, a Vayne, regardless of her build, as well as this Ashe Zyra, is incredibly devastating. TJ Lanier's just walking forward with so much conviction. Oh my goodness!
The final hour, he flashed for it! Oh my god, what are you doing, TJ? What are you doing? Expo is going to pick that one up. He's got his 8th kill of the game. And just like that, TJ goes from gray screen to gray screen.
That is how you Vayne spot. That is exactly what happens in Vayne spawning. You see the Vayne ulting, tumbling, flashing forward to try and pick up a kill onto a Jax with Counter-Strike. That is not what you do for TJ Lanier. But despite all of this, despite all of that, there's still no Dragon being taken by the side of Maria's Dungeon, and they have to be incredibly careful because there's still so much teamfight potential. Zyra ult is available, Ashe ult is available, and now Aurelia has shown up. She has the Vanguard's Edge again. Here it goes.
Oh, there's the ultimate being burned. Big knockup onto Boxian. Are they going to be able to run the fight here? Expo tried to get in the middle of the team, but he couldn't. Nukes from the side had gotten ignited and taken very low, and not too much that can be done there. However, Maria's Dungeon does secure the Dragon, and now Chandler is going for it all here. Nukes is the target, but Nukes has a shield on top of a shield, on top of some healing. Down they go. Adam hopping over the wall. The focus is Maria. Down goes Maria. Nukes going in, landing a big knock up there, and he gets a double kill. But now the Baron's been started by the side of the Glacial Mingos.
Yeah, Mingos just saying, if you're going to take our soul away from you, we're going to take some more towers. That's going to be the Baron picked up from them. They just have so much damage with this Aurelia and the Vayne, despite her build. Once again, I'm going to have to say that every single time. Has the Silver Bullets proc, which is really good for taking down these objectives. And just overall, Mingos are playing this map so well, despite them really not being the better micro players per se. There's still a lot of kills going back the other way. They've just had such macro dominance.
Yeah, and Chandler Clark getting those early kills onto the Enchanter lane, that's not something you really expected to see, but has now accelerated to doing so much damage late in the game. Is Fishing Frenzy, you know, Boxy, and they're picking a fight with each other, using Expo to get out, flashing over the wall. Expo is already so low, and now TJ has changed focus on the Hacksaw. Big knockup, big bubble onto TJ. Can they get the Counter-Strike off? No. But now TJ, everybody's in stasis, but Boxy does too much damage onto Expo. He's going to be able to get out of the way, but it's Fishing Frenzy getting a big last hit down, but now he's been rooted by Gabe. The Stranglethorns go down. There you go. You're dead now. Adam Suki in hot pursuit on top of Nukes. Shadow Assault looking to do a lot of damage, getting lower and lower. Big shield on the Nukes, and now it's on the Chandler, and the cleanse will not help you there. Down you go, and that should be it for the fighting, I'd hope, as Nukes is getting very strong right now.
Nukes is very strong at this point, and because you finish those 2 items on Yone, you have the Immortal Shield Bow on top of that Infinity Edge. Your crits are going to be doing a lot more damage, and Nukes has done a really good job of sitting in these side lanes for a little bit and being able to always be the last person in these fights. In some ways, that's really good for the Yone. No crowd control is available on the enemy team, and you're able to clean up these fights, so Nukes is going to be feeling pretty good about themselves moving forward. Unfortunate that they have the Zeal, which is what they picked up first, and I think did contribute to part of why Nukes took so long to come online. But if that builds into a Mortal Reminder, it's going to pay off in spades, considering the Ashe is going to end up with some healing. The Aurelia has a lot of healing in her kit, as well as this Talon, but TJ Lanier in trouble.
Yeah, he doesn't take a whole lot of damage though, truth be told.
It takes
But
a lot of damage at the end of that.
well, yeah, because a lot of that's magic damage at that point. TJ's build is really something here.
It is something. It is not. There's no opinions on what that something is, but it is something.
Yeah, I mean the Gwynsu's is nice, right? Like Gwynsu's is a pretty sick item, especially on a Vayne. But I mean, he just does so little damage at this point in time. It's kind of frustrating to watch.
Yeah, the main issue is you need to start stacking crit chance if you're building the Gwynsu's because you want that on-hit damage to go up. And right now, unfortunately, you're just getting 40 bonus damage, which effectively makes your Gwynsu's a 40 AD item in some ways, but not even that because it's only on your auto attacks. Less than that, I dare say. So
he said 40 AD item. No. 40 chest. That's what we're doing here.
Yeah, a 40 chest. It could be 40 chests, but I think the real 40 chest is coming out from the side of Expo here because right now, sitting on 3 items, has that RareAdam's done. At this point, I feel like you just start popping your ultimate every time it's off of cooldown just to start chunking people out because you have a lot of damage on this Karthus now and is just able to clear through so quick. Oh, no, Hacksaw, no.
Hacksaw, no.
Oh. Okay. Back to my last point as Hacksaw is shredded. Karthus does a lot of damage. You can just start pressing that R button whenever it's off of cooldown to look for some plays. But Dragon is spawning in 40 seconds, and they will not have the Nami right at the beginning of the fight. They're going to have to be careful walking around this Dragon because this is still Infernal Soul. And even if you have a Vayne who has a Frostfire Gauntlet and building towards a Randuin's and I guess Wit's End as well, you're going to do damage if you have Infernal Soul.
Yeah, and the biggest worry about that is you've cut the source of wards, and now somebody has to go back for Boxian because Hacksaw is not going to be able to cover that. So now Hacksaw and somebody else are going to have to swap, and then you're losing out on some big damage in the fight as Boxian continues to try to take down these turrets. Expo getting poked out a little bit as well. Nami and Jack's going to chase him down, but, you know, Expo is going to have to once again make a hero play. He does not have Flash, though.
Yeah, Expo needs to try and get the smite down here, but it's already getting taken down quite low. Here comes the teleport in from Boxian as well.
Oh, here we go. There's the ultimate from the Ashe. Expo is going to get knocked up. The Dragon has gone the way of the Glacial Mingos. Huge knock up from Nukes, but the exhaust is there. He's not enough to kill TJ, but TJ getting so low and taken down. It ends up being a double kill for Nukes, a 3-for-3 overall, but the prize of the Infernal Drake, the Infernal Soul, going over to the Glacial Mingos.
So well played from Nukes to get a massive Fate Seal on the back end of that, but all the damage had already been done because the Aurelia had shredded that backline. So Maria's just not able to get her ult off. She still has the Encore up and available. Expo didn't use his ultimate either in that fight. It might have been on cooldown. I think it's coming right back up right now, so just every single fight is a knife's edge. 3-for-3 despite the soul going over. It just shows how much gumption the side of Maria's Dungeon have to stay in these fights. And it's almost as if every time we see this team play, they make us some sort of entertaining game.
Yeah, they're definitely not a tough out. You go up against this team, you know that you are risking your life, fighting for your life, as they have no ounce of quit in them. However, Boxian, looking to potentially be the ounce of quit, is now they have picked up the Guardian Angel, and they're now level 18.
Yeah, level 18 on this Aurelia. She's really been the focal point for a lot of the pressure in terms of Talon ganking her a lot early. Kind of gave over an advantage to Nukes in that lane for a bit, but this Aurelia just so good. And the champion is one of those that you can just 1v9 on. Oh my goodness, Nukes goes in.
Gabe. Yeah. Fate Seal down. Here comes the ultimate. It is going to land. It's going to pop the shield bow as well. Adam Suki is just going for it, but it was an elaborate bait. The Zoni's being burnt by Expo as Fishing Frenzy is on the back line. He's a two-man stun. Here comes the Requiem. Chandler Clark, you are not long for this world. Down you go. Boxian gets charmed. They take him down. They take him down.
They've taken down the raid boss, and it's only TJ against the world. The Boxian,
oh my goodness. Out. Boxian going back in. TJ trying to put in as much damage as they can. There's no way they're going to win this fight. And can TJ win the fight? TJ, the goat of the game, is to go for all the wrong reasons and goes down again this time, despite the best efforts of Boxian to turn the fight. The Vayne is just a little bit too heavy at this time, and the sights are set on the Baron for Maria's Dungeon.
What just happened? That was a 4-for-0 that turned into a 5-for-3 because of that Aurelia. She is so strong, but now doesn't have that Guardian Angel, which means that 4-for-0 maybe sticks next time around. TJ Lanier actually does a decent amount of damage now because of just the levels in general, but still a little bit interesting. Maria needs to make sure she doesn't die to this. Nukes can generally still— oh my goodness, no, Adamsuki's here.
Oh, this is a problem, guys.
Oh,
no, he's got to kill Adamsuki right now. You have to do it right now. The smite is there. And no,
it.
It goes to Talon.
The blade took it. Oh, what is going on? The blade took it. 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 The blade took it.
Bro, you are kidding me right now. I am so sick for them.
I don't know. I've casted a lot of games. You've casted a lot of games, Yanni.
I've casted
this is probably one of the best games I've ever casted.
1000%.
Purely for the entertainment value. I think only rivaled by last game.
Now listen, we got TJ out here inting. The ultimate not landed. Okay, this is actually problematic now. Fishing Frenzy's been rooted and killed. The Requiem, though, will land, and it doesn't kill the Vayne. Just not enough Dark Harvest damage to be able to take down that Vayne. That's really bad, actually. Fishing Frenzy down for 40 seconds now.
And once again, TJ Lanier just calling his own number, saying, trust me, I got this. Ends up actually doing really well to prevent a lot of the Fishing Frenzy's damage to come through. And Frozen Heart on Vayne.
Yeah, I was going to say it, but I was hoping that you were going to get to it. I don't know what's going on here.
If we're talking about temperature, that is a very cold Vayne build.
Yeah, that is a very cold Vayne build. The plays are cold. It's, I mean, this Vayne build, you know, is so cold that I hope it's wrapped in tinfoil. Then it gets put in the microwave, so that way he knows not to ever do that again.
I mean, they haven't lost the game off of it, and I think one thing
that doesn't mean anything.
One thing to keep in mind: they're the ones playing this game. We aren't playing. We don't have to deal with this Vayne on either side of the coin.
We have to deal with seeing it.
We have to deal. I mean, to be fair though, I think TJ Lanier is having a lot of fun with this. As you said, Vaynes are going to find a way to have fun.
And I think it's hilarious. I think it's awesome. It's just so weird, man. It's just so weird. I want to see his damage at the end of the game is really what I'm interested in.
I'm curious to see. I think his true damage is going to be more than his physical damage. Because all his damage comes from this.
Yeah, all of his damage is true damage at this point, or magic damage, like because of the wit's end.
Yeah, it's
78 magic damage on hit. It's pretty sweet. Oh, the wall landed onto Chandler. There could be a lot of damage here, but the arrow does land onto Expo. Expo's going to be A-okay though, as now they're doing everything they can to push away Maria's dungeon as they look to take control of Elder Drake. There's a big knock-up. Chandler's in trouble. Chandler burns the defense, but is unable to get out. Whoa. Okay. It was Karthus, too. I thought that was all Seraphine right there. But down goes a big carry for the side of the Glacial Mingos, and now Nukes on the back line. On top of that, Suki is going to be able to get away. The Ignite burning him down, taking him down. TJ Lanier, very low, trying to get out of there. Boxian hopping on him, taking him down, and Boxian is pushing out the bot lane. But the Elder Drake is spawned. It's only Gabe, and Boxian has decided, you know what? I'm priced into getting this inhibitor. They're going to take down the turret. They are focused on the inhibitor, but this is a huge loss right here.
Boxian needs to go for the end here. That's the thing, because Elder can end the game. Gabe is trying to stall this out, but they're going to get the Elder. What happens now?
Gabe tries to stop them from backing, but it doesn't matter. Nukes is here. Gabe knows he's dead. The Elder Drake blasting him into oblivion, and I mean, you know, you take the inhibitor and that's all well and good, but this is not great. Oh, Nukes knows where he is. Nukes found Boxian. Boxian just have to get him below the threshold. The shield is burnt, but the rest of the team is here. Down you go. Does burn the Guardian Angel, but that's the only thing that gets burned there other than the hopes and dreams of Boxian by the Elder Drake.
And they have Elder on all 5 members. They're going to have this for another 2 minutes. They need to try and look for a game-ending play. Maria's Dungeon are dragging this back in their favor. Whether you want the Frozen Vayne or not, they are going to drag the corpse of this team comp across the line with all that they've gotten. Doing math on stream is never a strong suit. It's never a good idea, but with 77 kills in 36 minutes, wow. I think this is a certified BTL banger.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what a certified BTL banger
It
is
doesn't
because
matter.
I've
This
only
is
been
one of
here for
them.
a couple of weeks, but I definitely think this is an absolute banger of a game.
Yeah.
If you are in this chat, you better go tell your friends to watch the ending of this game because let me tell you, whether or not you have any affiliation with this league, whether nobody is, your friends have never heard of it, you get to watch a game like this. It doesn't happen all the time. This is actually really awesome.
And with how Maria's Dungeon have been able to get back into it, the gold lead that Mingos have is completely irrelevant now. It is all about where the momentum is lying. And, with another 50 seconds on this Elder, they have the chance to make a big play. And Nukes, look at this flank position. Here he goes.
Oh, here he is. Fate sealed. It does not hit anybody, though. He is going to get stunned up. Adam Suki doing what he can to try to burst him out, and he goes down. Here comes the teleport. Fishing Frenzy is here. It's a 4v4. TJ Lanier going forward. Finds Hacksaw. Expo is low. Expo goes down. From the side, it's Boxian. Boxian is going to wipe everybody. Fishing Frenzy, the last man left. Can you do anything? He's going to take down two for his trouble. But just like that, it's a quadra kill for this frozen vein. And the Glacial Mingos have finally put the boot on the throat. They have ended this game. Maria's Dungeon, the never say die attitude can't get them there. 20 seconds left on the Nami. They have the minion wave. Nukes up in 20. And if Nukes just had one Teemo more of range, that fight would have been over. That game would have been won by Maria's Dungeon. But he didn't. He came up short. And the game goes to Glacial Mingos.
Etoe, if you're watching this, can I say a swear word? I'm asking very nicely. I'm gonna wait until he replies. That game was something else.
What's this vein damage? 25k on the vein damage, by the way.
Vayne did a decent amount of damage and barely did more physical
more
damage
than Ashe, which is actually kind of surprising. I felt that Ashe did a whole lot of damage in that game, but actually didn't. Gotta give a lot of credit to the Zyra support, 26k damage, out damaging their own Vayne. Gabe doing what he can, but wow, what an incredible game between two teams that were pretty evenly matched.
Yes.
You get swear word clearance yet?
I don't know if I got swear word clearance, but man, just man. And I also realized that everything on the overlay is wrong now. But regardless, man, that was insane gameplay just from both teams.
Ooh.
Maria's Dungeon, no matter what, they always give us just absolute insane games. We got two of them last week against Glacial Academy, and here against Glacial Mingos, they are on the wrong side of it at the end of the day, but just really entertaining gameplay, really making BTL something to watch. Especially anytime Maria's Dungeon is there in a Glacial team, you know it's going to be a banger.
Yeah, and it's really a shame that this team just couldn't get the job done. I know they had a couple of roster moves, swapping up a couple of people today, I believe. And it's just a shame because like this was, had they maybe had their full roster playing in the roles that everybody's comfortable with, maybe there's a win there. But let me tell you something. Nukes played an incredibly good series, toe-to-toe with Boxian. Struggles in the early game versus Boxian. They were there. However, they were able to get themselves back into the games and make them incredibly competitive.
Yeah, we're able to just constantly be a menace in some ways. Maria's Dungeon, as you said, never say die attitude, but Glacial Mingos just coming through with some insanely impressive games, first of all, and very entertaining games. And this might be a team to watch if you are going to tune into more BTL, because this is some good stuff right here.
Yeah, that was an absolutely crazy game. If you missed it, man, I feel bad for you. You better go back and watch that VOD. If you got friends that missed it, go back. Like, I'm not a huge VOD fan myself. I don't really like watching VODs. I like watching things live. But that is legitimately a VOD to watch. That was such an awesome game. Really hard fought match between the Glacial Mingos and Maria's Dungeon. And unfortunately, one of these two teams had to lose.